It's all black and white. It ain't real clear as that you there.
50 and up.
You said, yeah, I was a
data for $30 a line.
time for stuff back in 35. That's me and Uncle Joe just trying to survive a cotton farm.
Audio on the computer.
Great Depression. If it looks like we were scared to death, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other, you should have seen it in color. Oh, and this one here is taking overseas in the middle of the heaven. Scene 43, wintertime. You can almost see my breath. That was my tail gunner. Oh, Johnny McGee, he was a high school teacher from New Orleans. And he had my back right through the day we left. If it looks like we were scared to death, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other, you should have seen it in color. A picture's worth 1,000 words, but you can't see what the shades of gray keep covered. You should have seen it in color. This one is my favorite one. This is me and Grandma in the summer sun, all dressed up the day we said our vows. You can't tell here, but it was hot that June, and the rose was red and her eyes were blue. Just the next one.
Breaking news every time.
I was so proud.
This is Therapy, about 16-year-old.
That's the story of my out there in black and white. And it looks like we were scared to death, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other. You should have seen it in color.
Of a White Christmas. Come to Millie's Beer Playhouse, presenting the music of a White Christmas. Opening November 13th. It's a holly jolly holiday with an all-you-can-eat buffet and a live Broadway show. One minute and from the pool and off-time ice cream, for $260 with perfect stocking stuffers. Millie's and White Christmas. 562-3131. So stop dreaming, wake up and snap your fingers.
No two people will know.
How does that work? You should have seen
As a visual
it in color.
Age isn't be in the room. So you love to classic.
Okay, está pronto. Estamos juntos.
However you want, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Welcome once again to the Schmidt Show here on News Radio 1029 KARM. My name is Brad Schmidt. This is you found us right here on we're glad to listen. Whether you're listening on the air, on our website, no matter how you tune in.
How that you never heard of
See here real quick.
so good and say, Biscuit,
Off the show.
have you ever thought of running away?
Come out and make an announcement
Settling down with his memory.
yesterday that you would be
If I ask you why,
I've got the live to it up, and I'm watching, and the
yes, in a
pictures
good
kind of
minute,
going down, and the podium is there.
never tried to
You
knock.
don't see her there.
It stole kiss
People
as
may
a
jump out to that as
he never hung his head.
or
Is the Judy's place.
comes out.
I should have been a cowboy. Should have learned
Announcement. A few folks
to go around.
possible.
Wearing my 6-year,
There is going to be
riding my pony on the cabin drive.
the Trump administration.
Seen
I
every
don't think that's going to
young girl's hearts,
announce anything to do with it.
just like Gene,
Simply because that's
singing those damn
it's usually
song. Oh, I should have been
that would make
a
the
cowboy.
particular announcements. For example, the announcement that was made about Sarah's
And
defiance
ain't running
was
wild.
made by President Trump. They
You was
clearly
just
announced
James,
a few hours ago or whatever
bending up on spring cool.
that Mike
Danger, riding shotgun,
would be nominated
the Texas Ranger. So let's jump,
to Israel.
man, that you've been told.
So there's
I'm always full of whiskey, women,
in
go sleeping out all night.
that suggests
Desert stars, dreaming my eye and a prayer.
probably get something that
My heart,
probably have something to do
should have
with
been a cowboy.
maybe of John Fox
I should have learned to roll.
as he is to
Wearing my 6-year, riding my pony on the cabin drive.
place
Seen every young girl's
will require a and
just like Gene and Roy,
there will be
singing those campfire songs.
interim or something like
Oh, I
that.
should have been a
It could
cowboy.
have something to do possibly with the prison. It could have something to do possibly with education. There's a whole lot of opportunities or options here. What could potentially be an announcement and I'm just convinced it will be her resignation
Should have been a cowboy.
to work with the Trump administration.
Should have learned to roll around.
This is
I'll be wearing
how that would
my
go.
6-year,
It
riding
does
my
look like there is some action taking place,
Seen every young girl's
moving
heart,
some flags around and make sure they get
just like
the video shot
Gene and
going
Roy,
right.
singing those
There's a few folks
campfire songs.
around the
Oh, I
area,
should
someone kind of
have been a cowboy. Yeah, I should have been a cowboy.
whatever. We'll jump into that as soon as the announcement begins. So I just wanted to kind of give that as a mention, and we'll keep on in it. I also figure as we get started here, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going on today, what we're going to be talking about. One of the stories, of course, is the continued meltdown of the left and the divisive nonsense that has been going on on the left. And we want to talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about Mike Huckabee being announced as the ambassador to Israel. There's rumor that that Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota potentially could be our next DHS secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Easy for me to say. I'm not sure that that's a great pick. I love Kristi Noem. You know, she's very bright and has done a pretty decent job in the state of South Dakota. I'm not sure DHS is the best place for her, though. I think there could be some other folks that would be more qualified or more capable. But then again, one of the things I do appreciate about Kristi Noem is that during all of the COVID stuff, she pushed back quite hard on a lot of the restrictions and said, look, since people like her to shut down businesses and shut down things across the state, she was pushing back pretty hard and I said, look, it's not my job. I don't get to, as much as I may want to or may not want to, it doesn't really matter. It's not my legal authority to impose any of that. And so she pushed back pretty hard about the call to be more authoritarian than she has the right to be. And so I guess there's that as far as finding things for her as the potential Department of Homeland Security Secretary. But we'll certainly be talking about that story as we get on through the afternoon today. But the big news that we're waiting for anyway, is a potential announcement from the Sarah Sanders campaign, or sorry, the Sarah Sanders governor's office, and she's been running at least
I'm gonna be where the lights
the governor's office
are shining on me.
there's about 550 people watching the live stream to there was a little bit of action there for a moment. I thought it might actually be coming up. I've died down now, and there's just people standing talking. So we definitely doing that. But here's what we're going to do. We take an early break, and with that break in right now, so we have plenty of time to see the announcement from Sanders as hopefully we'll continue next on News Radio 1029.
NewsRadio1029.com. $50 suggested tickets to win. Distributes $5. Supplies unlimited. Don't miss this deal from way back.
Call the law. The law offices of Allen Law will get you the money you deserve. They have a track record consistent experience in Arkansas. Companies take LeVar Law. They come prepared to get you the money you deserve. Call LeVar Law. Win one. Or Logan. Hurt in a car. Win one.
Does it hurt when you do each of those routine physical activity? Have they told you it's time for knee or hip replacement surgery? Hey, it's Toby Howe. Stop what you're doing and listen. You deserve a life of comfort and ease with no surgery, no med.
What a crowd.
Kinetics is the name.
Good afternoon. Excited for everybody to be here. I want to start off slightly off topic by saying how unbelievably proud I am that my dad was just nominated as President Trump's ambassador
Sarah
to
Story.
Israel. I had the chance to go to Israel for the very first time with my dad when I was 11 years old, and it literally changed my life. There's no greater supporter and nobody that has a greater understanding of our two nations' unbreakable bond. And there is probably a little bit of bias, but there's no one who will do a better job in this. Congratulations, Deborah. We're very proud of you. Now, I know that's what y'all came here for, obviously. But for today's announcement, it is an honor to be here with Secretary Leslie Fiskin, many of our cabinet secretaries, and legislators from all over the state, and so many of the men and women, public servants within state government, who not only make today's announcement possible, but who run and fuel our entire state. When I took office, I promised to offer transformational change for the state of Arkansas. We're achieving that in education, in public safety, in our tax code, and a lot more. And today, we're announcing another slate of reforms, this time for state government itself. I've made no secret that I believe that Arkansas's current state employee pay plan is broken. It's confusing, and it doesn't reward hard work. And it's not recruiting new hires for our most in-demand positions. Frankly, it's failing the men and women who work in state government. And because of that, it's failing the people of Arkansas. Today, I'm announcing that after months of hard work, we are proposing a new state employee pay plan. It includes raises for about 2/3 of our cabinet agencies' workforce, including double-digit percentage increases in our most hard-to-fill positions. It consolidates titles across state agencies so that employees operate under a clear structure that matches the private sector. It rewards state employees who get new training and certification, and it offers our great team members a clear path to promotion and pay raises. We took Arkansas's pay plan down to the studs, so there's a lot to unpack, and we have Secretary Fiskin who will come up and lay out some of the specific numbers and details. But I want to take this time to talk a little bit about the real people whose lives will be impacted. Our state employees aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They're moms and dads, they're church members, and they're members of our communities. Up here with me today is Centressa Jackson, a family service worker from Conway. Most of her cases are teens. She says she's somewhere between a mom and a big sister for a lot of them. At the Conway Human Development Center, she hosts birthday parties and study halls. For homecoming a few weeks ago, she took the girls shopping to get their hair and nails done and helped them get dressed. She's always the one that the girls call when they need help. She takes them to driver's tests and job interviews. In addition to being these girls' champion, she's also a single mom with 2 boys at home. But like everyone else in America, she's seen prices go up while her paycheck stays the same. Groceries, school supplies, gas, it's all more expensive than it used to be. And as she says, a pay bump would help with just about everything. Under our new pay plan, her income would go up by $7,500 a year, and starting pay for all DCFS workers would go up by more than 20%. These heroes pour their time and energy into our state's most vulnerable young people.
We're going to jump right back into it here. We're going to Sarah Sanders about 3 minutes. Go right to it.
We're also joined by Blake Urban, a state trooper from Wynn.
Good afternoon.
In addition to protecting Arkansans in his day job, Blake is also a foster parent. He and his wife have a 13-year-old foster daughter living with them now. Tragedy struck last year when Blake and his wife lost their home in March 31st tornadoes. Since then, they've had some difficulties with their insurance company, and they just recently moved back into their old house. They never saw.
We're also joined by Blake Urban, state trooper from Wynn. In addition to day job, Blake is also a foster parent. He and his wife have a 13-year-old foster daughter living with them now. Tragedy struck last year when Blake and his wife lost their home in March 31st tornadoes. Since then, they've had some difficulty. They just recently moved back into their old house. They never started fostering. As Blake says, they would never even considering closing their home to foster kids. But between the tornado and demands of being a foster parent, money has become an issue. Blake says they'll have to have difficult conversation if things don't change. Under our new pay plan, Blake's pay would go up by nearly $11,000. And starting pay for all state troopers would go up by just under 10%. These heroes put their lives on the line.
He likes to stand up for people and help Arkansans get healthier. The only hang-up is when she got the call to take the Department of Health job as a pay. She was making a lot less than she was at their nursing home. That's an issue because Dakota has had some health issues in the recent past, and she's also a mom. To make ends meet, Dakota still works at the nursing home on weekends. That means she can't spend as much time with her kids as she would like. I'm proud to say that under our new pay plan, Dakota's income would go up by nearly $13,000 each year, and starting salaries for state nurses would go up by more than 8%. Our state nurses keep us healthy, and our new pay plan rewards their public service. Thank you, Dakota. These are just 3 examples of the professional men and women who keep our state running. You could go into any state police headquarters or county health unit or local DHS office or any revenue office and find stories very similar to theirs. I'm proud that this pay plan rewards them for their dedication and makes their lives just a little bit easier. I look forward to working with our legislators to get this plan passed, and I want to thank the men and women at TSS and their entire teams who have put so much hard work into this proposal. I'll turn it over to Secretary Fiskin, and I'll come back up to take questions. Thank you so much. Leslie.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Governor, and thank you for the opportunity to work on this project. So I just want to give y'all a little background on this project and kind of the nuts and bolts of what we've done. So all of this is part of the Arkansas Board Initiative, which the governor has led. It is to create efficiencies in state government and really modernize state government. So the governor recognized that we didn't make improvements and changes to our pay plan, including increasing salaries. So from that, our department engaged with McKinsey Consulting. Earlier this year, we started working with McKinsey Consulting, and McKinsey really has provided us with a framework of what we needed to do in Arkansas. were three main things that they came back to us on specifically
the governor has
with our pay structure. And one is to reorient our middle management and the number of classifications
state government
for our positions, and also to
recognize that we didn't make
create career tracks and ladders and paths for our employees, because currently we do not have career paths.
article.
Second is to make our pay plan competitive and with
So I guess
targeted classifications. And those targeted classifications, three of them are the examples of my colleagues here
Essentially, the
next to me are state troopers, nurses, and social service employees. We have a very hard time recruiting and retaining these good employees. And finally, McKinsey recommended to bring our employees up to labor market rate. And that would also help with recruitment and retention. So from that framework, our Office of Personnel Management, led by Director Kay Barnhill, they really started working on developing a strategy and the details of how this could be put into place and developed. So they conducted full research and analysis, looking at all labor market resources in the state of Arkansas. They reviewed the job titles and labor market data for over 22,000 employees that we have here. They have reduced. We have 2,200 job titles right now in the state of Arkansas, and they've reduced that to 800. Creating these new job titles really allows us as a state to align with other public markets, with the private sector as well, and to make sure that these are aligned with industry standards. And we've also created career track, like I mentioned earlier, and paths for all of these positions, which provides transparency and allows employees to come to work for the state of Arkansas to know what is their next step as they move forward. So as for what the new pay plan will do, it's going to bring up all of our employees to the labor market rate where they should be paid, specifically in these targeted classifications of nurses to state troopers, social service specialists, in a new pay table with higher market salaries. Currently, we have four pay tables in the state. We're expanding that to 6. And we're adding 2 new classifications. One as law enforcement and safety, and the second new pay table is adding professional. So currently, we have approximately, as the governor mentioned, we have a third of our employees are on target, which is great. They're being paid what they should be paid if they were somewhere else in a different public sector or private sector in the state of Arkansas. We are on target for paying them the correct compensation. Where we are lacking is we have 2/3 of our employees are below market rate. So that's approximately 14,000 employees that are not being paid at the market what they should be paid. So our recommendation for this is to move all of those employees, which is approximately 14,000, up to the labor market rate. This would be, for us, the next step of the process is working with our legislators that we work in partnership with on a daily basis to make sure that we can support these employees, which our state legislature, they do on a daily basis. And this would all be able to go into effect July 1st of 2025. And finally, I'd like to acknowledge this work has been a collaborative effort. All of the departments, our cabinet members, everybody has worked with us and given us feedback and input, as well as I mentioned, Director of Office of Personnel Management, Kay Barnhill, and her team, which is about 9 people, are the people in the state of Arkansas that have been working tirelessly on this and using their expertise and details to put this together. So we're really thankful and appreciative for their work. Thank you.
Most Biden administration wages or Biden administration bill.
I'm sorry.
So,
Sorry.
The governor did a good job of introducing me, so there's not a lot really to say. I will say again, my name is Blake Irvin. I've got the privilege to work with the premier law enforcement agency in the state since 2021. I just wanted to speak on what it would do for current troopers. As a family man myself, I have a now foster daughter. We had one here in the tornado as well that has since aged out of foster care and is living independently. However, she's still our daughter. So we have her. She has a daughter now, so I'm a grandfather at 33 years old. So I have her, a granddaughter, our foster daughter, and 3 beautiful boys. Obviously, this pay raise would do wonders financially for us. However, another aspect of that is we are very low man. I'm based out of Forest City, Arkansas, and Troop D area. and we are struggling right now with numbers.
more as an overall.
This leads often to shift changes, just unknowns of what next week will look like, overall planning, and a lot of it lands back on my wife, taking on all these children and whatnot in her home.
Be the taxpayer.
And I'm beyond thankful for her because I can tell you that I would
I
not
can imagine that
be able to do this job without her.
it will be
This pay raise would
delay
allow recruiting-wise
to
for numbers to come in. Obviously, it's attractive to have more pay, and I believe that may be what's holding some people back from making that jump over to state police. So I just ask the legislature, please, I know you guys are very pro law enforcement, pro Arkansas State Police, as well as the governor. I'm beyond thankful for that. I just, it's a privilege today to be here as a representation of the Arkansas State Police, and I'm thankful to be alongside two other state employees that offer well representations of their areas. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Bill. Any questions?
As we watch many
That would be a separate a structure. Leslie, I don't know if you want to comment, but it wouldn't include the constitutional officer.
get
So
more
it's
and
a
more
different category.
money, more and more benefits,
Constitutional offices do not fall under the House and Compensation Act.
of their prosperity at the expense of ours.
Sure.
Or if not at the expense of ours, as we all sit by and go, gosh, it sure would be nice, even just to get a 2 or 3% rate. It's something of a bit of a bump for ourselves. So there is a lot.
No, we don't anticipate that. So the total estimated cost would be just over $1 million. That is not new money. I see quite a number of the cabinet secretaries here, and so I want to remind them while everyone is in the room that we are first asking them to look at their existing budgets and to pay for the vast majority through the existing budget that they already have. If that is not possible, then we would look at other funding sources. One example, but not exclusive to, would be the performance fund, which has an extremely healthy balance around $72 million. But the first step and the first place that we want every agency and department to look at is with their existing
We'll
budget.
continue. We'll switch on next.
Not specifically, again, we want everybody to look within their existing budget to begin with. I will gladly. There's been very few people who have supported and campaigned as hard and hoped as much as I have that President Trump would be reelected, which he did decisively last week. But I am very proud to be the governor of Arkansas. I've already announced my bid for reelection, and I look forward to serving in this position for the next 6 years. So unfortunately, and hopefully you guys are stuck with me for a while. And the only member of my family that will be going into the administration is my dad. I'm sorry? Has what? Oh, is he outside? I don't think so, unless you know something I don't. But we would certainly welcome him to Arkansas anytime. And I think that while this may be the biggest crowd we've had in the conference room, I think we can do a lot better than that if he comes to Arkansas. Thank you all so much. Appreciate you guys being here.
The song also set to meet with President-elect Trump. America is listening.